Okay. Art critic, an arrangement of objects tends to be aesthetically pleasing to the extent that it gives the impression that the person who arranged the object succeeded at what he or she was attempting to do. Okay, that's funny. So essentially, we like how something looks as long as we think that it's like what it was designed to do.
Right.
So like if something looks terrible, but we're like, oh, but that's what it's supposed to be. We're like, oh yeah, that's cool. So we're just gonna go along with it. All right. So what kind of question is this?
To justify the reasoning.
Yeah, so it's kind of awkward, right? Because what are we trying to like? It's like a strengthening question, but we're strengthening the answer choice, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like so we're trying to take this generalization and use it. So it's actually like a most strongly supported question.
Okay.
But we're taking this and trying to find which one of these would be true based on this rule.
Yep. Okay.
So let's go ahead and start with A.
Okay. The new art installation is very pleasing aesthetically. However, even though it is not apparent to viewers, the artist did not intend the wooden panels to be arranged the way they in fact are. So the panels should be rearranged to reflect the artist's intention. This does not go along with it. I don't think.
So our thing is saying that an arrangement of objects tends to be aesthetically pleasing to the extent to which it gives the impression that the person who arranged the object succeeded at what. So if the artist succeeds, so the more the artist succeeds, the more that an arrangement is aesthetically pleasing, right?
But it wasn't if they're attempting to do it too. So if she wasn't attempting to arrange them, then doesn't this not count?
But if she wasn't so I'm just gonna like this is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
I think this is right, but my original hesitation of crossing it off as quick like as you did was okay, but the artist did not intend for it to be in the arranged the way they are. So I'm like, aren't things more aesthetically pleasing whenever they are arranged how the author wants?
Yeah.
But now I'm looking into it more and I reread it and I'm like, wait, we're talking about as long as it comes across as it's successful. So we don't necessarily care about intent, we care about success.
Okay.
So these are very aesthetically pleasing, but we don't know if people that are viewing them think that they're successful or not. So I agree that A is not the answer.
Okay.
Sorry, that literally was all of my thought process of what I have to think through for A. I don't know if that's helpful or not, but
the wooden panels in the art installation probably are not arranged in the way that the artist wanted them arranged, for the installation is less aesthetically pleasing than other installations. Is this one wrong because it's saying less aesthetically pleasing, so you can just like cross that one out?
Well, I'm thinking that this is wrong because it has nothing to do with, is it giving the impression to the person who arranged the object succeeded? We don't know here. Like, even though they're not arranged as the artist wanted, well, I guess if they are, for the installation is a less aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, we can't guarantee that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what about C?
The arrangement of wooden panels in the art installation is likely to give the impression that the artist who arranged them did not quite succeed at what she was attempting to do, for the arrangement is almost but not quite symmetrical. No, that isn't even.
Yeah, our conclusion is that they're likely to give this impression. We have no idea if they're going to give that impression or not.
Yeah.
All right, D.
The art installation would be more aesthetically pleasing if the wooden panels in it were arranged more symmetrically, for then it would seem more like the artist had gotten the panels arranged the way she wanted.
What is the conclusion of D?
The art installation would be more aesthetically pleasing if the wooden panels in it were arranged more symmetrically.
Yeah, so we're trying to say that there would be more aesthetically pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
These are correlations. Like, this is a correlation, just FYI, but we're saying more aesthetically pleasing if it were arranged more symmetrically. And why are we saying that it should be arranged more symmetrically? What happens? It would look more like the artist had gotten the way that she wanted, right?
Yeah, so it'll look like she was attempting to do something that she wanted to do.
And so would that give the impression that the person, so if it did arrange it more symmetrically, would that give the impression that the person who arranged the object succeeded at what he or she was attempting to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like D.
Okay.
So I'd be like, yeah, they should, because like right now, because like if they rearrange it, it's more likely to look like it succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then what about E?
The artist could make the arrangement of wooden panels in the art installation more aesthetically pleasing by making it less symmetrical. For then, it would give less of an impression that every aspect of the arrangement was fully planned.
That's the opposite of what we want.
Yeah, I feel like that's just the opposite of D, kind of in a weird way.
Yeah. And so it's B or D. Sorry, D.
Yeah.
So what did you pick for this one?
I actually never got to this. I looked at it and then flagged it and was going to come back to it. So
This would have been a time like if I was down to 2 and I saw this, I would definitely click on 26 and see what kind of question it was and then come back to it.
yeah, and I was like, oh, weekends. I was like, oh, I love weekend. Let me just go back. And so yeah,